Hi, my name is Janet and this is Nikki, and this video is prepared for you to understand beginning yoga and beginning yoga postures that will be done, in addition to what props you might need and a cheat sheet for you at the end. So if you watch the video all the way through, there's a cheat sheet for you so that you can revisit these postures. So before we begin, would you like to get down? All right, he'd like to get down. So you would possibly need to incorporate some props into your practice, and I recommend a strap, have a couple of blocks, and one or even better, 2 yoga blankets. And all of these props can be purchased on Amazon. That's where I get them. They're not overly expensive and they're just convenient to have so that you can achieve success in some of the more challenging postures. Today's yoga practice is going to just show you the various postures you might encounter in a beginning yoga class, and I will have future videos for you so that you can experience the beginning yoga practice. So often you will see a class that begins in child's pose. From child's pose, you'll usually get into a downward facing dog, looks like this. From there, you'll move to a forward fold. As you fold forward, you may find that it's better to keep your feet separated. Let me show you from this view. And that's called ragdoll, holding up to your opposite elbows. Another pose often seen in beginning yoga is samastitihi. There's mountain pose. Forward fold with the legs together, a little more intense. A halfway lift. And then a high plank, which can be done like this or modified down on the knees. You'll lower to low plank and then come into a cobra. An additional posture you find often in beginning yoga is chair pose. Warrior 2, extended side angle, reverse warrior. Beginning yoga practices usually include some core strengthening, some sit-ups called bound angle sit-ups, yogi bicycles, and boat pose. Once you've built core strength through various postures, as I just showed you, you might begin to work on establishing a little more power in crescent lunge. It looks like this. Crescent lunge becomes a twist, sometimes done on the knee, and then into a deep stretch for the hips, runner's lunge. Side plank is additionally strengthening, and it's often done on the knee or by stacking the feet. Woo, a little more challenge. Whew. From chair pose, we add a twist called prayer twist. Gorilla pose is like ragdoll, but you use a little more intensity by placing your hands underneath your feet. Once you've built enough stability there, you might try a crow pose. Let me bring blocks in for this one to show you. Props are helpful when you're trying to balance on your hands in beginning yoga. Balance is an important part of a yoga practice. Balance postures you might expect to see in beginning yoga are eagle pose. Let me show you what that looks like. Dancer's pose. I'll turn to the side for this one. Woo! Balance is always challenging. And one you're probably familiar with or have seen in advertising, tree pose. Additional warrior poses like warrior one. You'll notice how it looks similar to crescent lunge, but the back heel is down. You'll have to watch a video to find out exactly the details of that. But it looks like this. And often becomes triangle. Again, I'm going to incorporate my props here. When the body's really warmed up, it's nice to stretch. A common stretch in beginning yoga is wide-legged forward fold. Sometimes wide-legged forward fold is done with the hands clasped at the lower back. Back strengthening is another important part of our yoga practice, so you'll see various postures for back strengthening. We saw cobra pose already, but let's revisit. Cobra pose can become an upward facing dog. Locust pose can be done with the arms extended out, or my favorite, hands behind the back. A little bit more challenging, floor bow. Using your blankets, you might find that camel pose works for you. I sometimes like to put a block between my thighs to keep my legs stable. Maybe my toes are curled under or feet are flat. Camel. There's another version of child's pose called embryo version. The knees and thighs are squeezed together as you round over. A beginning yoga class, and almost every yoga class I've ever experienced, has some wind down postures designed to help you stretch when you're all warmed up. Let me set my blanket aside. I'll use that in a moment. And grab my strap. This is handy. My feet might extend out, and I'll strap the strap around the bottoms of my feet and stretch the back of my legs. Once doing that, it's okay to stretch forward to get even more from the stretch. A nice hip opener is pigeon, and I'll show you two ways, two pictures. Or my favorite, on the back. Ah, that feels so good. A reclining twist helps wind us down near the end of class. And then the final pose is Shavasana, relaxation. To learn more about each of these postures, download our cheat sheet. In addition, there are plenty of beginning yoga classes on our YouTube channel, the Free Yoga Club. So be sure to check those out to get details of how to get in and out of the various postures I showed you today, and modifications that could be used for them, and the benefits of each of the postures. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and share with your friends. A class usually ends with a word that means the light within me honors the light in you. And you might repeat it after the teacher at the end. From my heart to yours, namaste.